Running Wild with Christine, Sex, Success, and Other Slippery Rabbit Holes. Episode 10, Outsider Syndrome. Hi, welcome to Running Wild with Christine. You know who I am and what I do by now, so let's jump into things. Today I'm here with Kelly S., owner of Hashtag Pop-Up, Creative Nomad, and Midnight Rebel, currently based in Geneva, and, fiance of my ex-best friend's ex-boyfriend. Hi, Kelly. How are you today?
Hi, Christine. Ooh, hi, Christine. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's 8:30 in the morning, guys, so you're going to have to pardon our nonsense this morning.
Yeah, definitely.
But we're both very busy ladies with very ridiculous lifestyles at the moment.
Yeah. Various random projects, the outsider syndrome that we live.
Yes. So Kelly and I met through her fiance, who's a good friend of mine. And she actually met my current best friend that you've heard of in previous episodes. And he was like, you two will get along. And then we met and we're like, oh yeah, you're weird. I'm weird. We're going to get along.
Let's be friends.
So do you want to give us a bit of background on yourself? Like where you're from, what you did?
Yeah. So basically I was born in Geneva. From a Australian dad and a French mom, and then went to school, many different schools, because I was kicked out of a lot of schools in Geneva for various reasons. And then when I was 17 and I completely fucked up my HACs, bac, matu, whatever you call it, that
high school.
That high school thing, you need to go to uni. Yeah, fuck that up for 2 years in a row. So then my parents decided, okay, so you're going to Australia, do an internship with your family, because they have a lot of different businesses over there, like bars, restaurants, hotels, and stuff like that. So I did, and I lived in Byron Bay, the hippie city, for 2 years before moving back to Sydney. And then I went to uni and got in. I'm not quite sure how, but I did. Got my diploma. Don't know how, but I did. In entertainment management, major in PR. And then worked in PR agencies, MTV, celebrity management companies in Australia. Then I moved to the States because I was doing an acting degree in the National Institute of Dramatic Arts of Sydney. And that led me to being a fucking Disney princess in the States for 6 months. Then I got kicked out. I'm
sensing a thread.
Yeah. Because I had a beer and I wasn't allowed to.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, it was good. And then moved to America, to New York. Then came back to Geneva, didn't know what to do, went back to Oz, went to Dubai, came back to Geneva, didn't know what to do. Story of my life. So now I've been back in Geneva for 5 years.
Yeah?
6 years, because I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years. Mm-hmm. And we met on a drunk night out on New Year's Eve. And we went home together, and the next morning we didn't know each other's names, which was a little bit awkward, but now we're engaged and hopefully getting married soon.
Great. So, I mean, that's like, there's a happy ending for you people for your next, like, drunken hookup that you're like, who the fuck are you?
I know, right? Yep.
Oh, you got a good one, though. We like him.
Yeah, we do. That big bear. Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he is. But it's so funny because we met when you were sort of just like setting things up here, and it's been a while that you were back, and you're like, I'm still not feeling like I belong.
I still don't belong.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever belong anywhere. That's why my major company is called Creative Nomad, because I do think I'm quite creative, and I definitely know that I am a nomad because I belong to nobody and to no land.
And that's just such a weird concept nowadays, because everywhere you go, like, first question, you meet someone, hey, where are you from? And you're like, oh my God, long answer, short answer, where do I start? What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It's such
I gave
nightmare.
you the short answer.
Yeah, it's the same with me. Like, if anyone looks at the book, it's like, where are you from? Switzerland. But aren't you Serbian? Well, yeah, actually, I'm Serbian and Croatian. but like, where's your accent from?
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, oh my God, this is going to take fucking forever. Here, pick up the book and read it. But I always find it funny how this like theme of like people who went away, like we were saying this, I think last time we were at coffee, of like, you end up being closest friends with people who did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like people who never left.
You basically cannot be friends with, and no matter what city it is, like if I was in Australia, I couldn't be friends with Australians that didn't travel or didn't have an experience elsewhere. And in Geneva, it's the same. Like basically, I have my ultimate best friend that never traveled, but I've known her since I was born. But we know that together we love each other and we spend so much time together, but we have nothing in common.
Yeah.
And we can't even go out on a night out with friends because we have different friends.
Yeah.
I don't understand her friends. She doesn't understand my friends. We can't go traveling together because we don't travel the same way. So basically we talk on the phone, go for coffee, go for lunch, the two of us. And that's pretty much our social life as best friends.
Yeah.
And with all of my other friends that traveled and stuff like that, no problem. I can live with them. I can travel with them. I can go out with them. I can talk about anything with them.
Because I think there's a certain sort of versatility that you learn when you're living like that or when you're traveling intensely. Like,
yeah.
You get to like not give a fuck about certain shit that people who like always had the comfort of their homes or the comfort of their habits.
And the gossip.
That's
all
God,
they
don't tell me about it.
do.
I've been back in Switzerland for like 6 months on and off, and I'm like, oh, this is why I left.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I try and hang out with all kinds of different people and not always with the same, because I don't want to get into that whole
because you and I both don't really have, I mean, you're engaged now, but like...
Yeah, but that's the thing. Once you're engaged, it's just like gossip life over, which is good.
Yeah.
But then, you don't have that many stories. Like, I remember being single and meeting people, and I was like, oh my God, I did that. Oh my God, so shame. Oh my God. And all this, and now it's just kind of like, oh, you're engaged? Yeah. You have a business? Yeah. My life is so fucking boring.
But it's not, that you still do a lot of things, but...
I still do a lot of things, but I don't think it's as funny as my single life. I could have written a book as well.
Okay, so how give me like the funniest single life story that you've got, or like the randomest.
I have so many, but right now on top of my mind is when I was interning for this celebrity management company in Sydney in 2008-9, I think.
Yeah.
And
I was there too. That's so funny. 809.
Oh really?
Yeah.
In Sydney?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And my boss, so the big boss of the company, really liked me because he thought I was the smart kid because I spoke French.
Yeah.
Because out of the 45 employees, I was the only one who spoke a second language.
I mean, the perks of going to either North America,
yeah,
Australia,
I know.
European.
It's just like, oh, you're so smart. No, really, I'm really not that smart. I just,
shut up.
Yeah, it's just natural. But yeah, and so basically the company was organizing the MTV Music Awards. So I worked through the whole day organizing, and then at night my boss told me, well, you're just going to be the door bitch for 2 hours, and then the night is yours. You can do whatever you want. So basically, as I was the door bitch, I told my two best friends, I was like, guys, I'm at the door. So come in, and then it's free drinks, I'll put you in the VIP side, and just enjoy the night for 2 hours before I get there, and then we can party. So basically, they had the time of their lives, and before I finished my door bitch mission.
Duties, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so there was all these Australian celebrities that obviously as an international, because I was not raised there, I didn't know half the people.
Yeah.
And my two best friends, they were from Sydney, so they're like, oh my God, this is blah, 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 and this is blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, whatever, just get me shots. So got really, really drunk, and I was talking with these two girls that are quite famous singers called the Veronicas.
Yeah, I know them.
So I was talking with them, and they're really cool, and we've been working with them for quite a while, so I kind of knew them a little bit. And then this black guy came to the table, and I'm just like sitting there going, oh my God, it's Chris Brown. And I think that was the time where he was still going out with Rihanna. So it was kind of like a big deal for me that I was, I don't know, 20 years old or something. And then I went dancing and he was around, and I was telling my friend, oh my God, Chris Brown is staring at me and I think maybe he thinks I'm hot and blah, 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 whatever. So then fast forward, I don't know, an hour or two, here I am kissing the shit out of this guy. And
thinking like this is the highlight of my life.
This is like the fucking highlight. Like, I'm gonna be in the newspaper tomorrow because Rihanna has been cheated on. Yeah, like all this. So that went on until pretty much 3 a.m, until I bump into this guy that I know, but I'm not friends or anything. And he's like, I forgot his name. Forgot the black dude's name. So anyway, he's like, oh, how's your night? I'm like, yeah, good. I'm just like hanging out with Chris Brown. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. It's like, that's not Chris Brown. I'm like, what do you mean that's not Chris Brown? And he's like, no, that's the, I forgot his name now. That's the guy from the toast advertising on Channel 10. I'm like, what? It's like, yeah, he's been in this ad since he was like 12 years old, and now he's like the face of this Australian toast company. And I'm just standing there going, fuck, that was the biggest fail of my life. I was literally like thinking I was, moving to Hollywood,
and then you're like, free bread for life.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, that didn't turn out too well. So then I left the party and never saw him again, except on TV.
So yeah, to any of our Australian listeners, please tag said person on Twitter. Yeah. Well, yeah, like I can totally relate with that kind of shit.
Yeah. So things like that, or coming home with a guy and you don't know what, when you wake up, you can't even remember coming home with someone, and you're like, kind of like,
what have I done?
Yeah,
who are you?
Who are you? But the good thing is I'm actually fully dressed, so that's good. And then most of the time nothing happened because we were both way too drunk.
Yeah, so you just
But it's just a little awkward in the morning.
I know. There's
had a pretty cool story in Dubai with my best friend.
Ooh, tell me.
So my best friend that I've been best friends with since I was like 13, I think, moved to Dubai when he was 15.
Yeah.
So we spoke over MSN and all these previous social media we had. And then when I moved to Dubai I was supposed to be there for a year, but I ended up being there for 3 months because I hated it. But he was living there, so we caught up, and he had a girlfriend who was like, this, I don't know, Arabic princess, blah, 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 super hot, so jealous and all that. And she didn't like me. And I really tried really hard, and she's just like, no, she's too Australian. She sounds like a man, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, then she left. I think she went back to Beirut with her family. Mm-hmm. And so it was just my best friend and I in his huge house because his parents weren't there. And we were supposed to go out. And then his friends bailed, so we're like, oh, fuck it, let's not go out. And he's like, okay, let's do a drinking game. I'm like, all right, fine. And in Dubai, they don't serve, like, when you buy a big bottle of vodka or something, they serve it like a soap. Like
with the pumps.
Yeah, with the pumps.
They have that in North America, too.
Yeah. So we're serving with these pumps, and we have like this really weird whiskey glasses that you can put 3 pumps in, but it actually looks like there was only 1.
Yeah.
So he was doing double for me, and I was doing like triple for him without us knowing we were both doing that. And we were mixing vodka to Red Bull. So I know that.
Can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, all of us went through that and
Phase.
complete blackout the next day.
Yeah.
So we did this game, and blackout. I mean, like, I've never had such a big blackout of my life.
Oh my God.
Since then, and we woke up the next morning fully naked in his bed, looking at each other, going, "What the fuck happened?" I'm like, I got no idea. He's like, I don't know. I'm like, oh. Next thing I know, there's like half my hair on the pillow. Like, literally, just out.
You lost half your hair?
Yeah.
This is like aggressive, kinky sex? They
Probably.
Like, ripped out your hair?
No idea. And I'm just going like, okay, so there's hair, and then I stood up and I was like, yeah, we definitely had sex.
Oh my God, I know that feeling.
Oh, and then, yeah, so then we're like, oh, fuck, did we put a condom? Did we not? And he was like, this is so awkward, like, what? Like,
yeah.
So random.
If that happened with my best friend, I'd be like, what the fucking fuck?
I know. And worst is you do not remember anything.
Oh, I've had that happen.
So then we had kind of like, you know the movie like The Hangover?
Yeah.
Where they find the camera?
No!
No sex images, but me in the pool with like the thing.
Floaties?
Yeah, the floaties and stuff. Like super drunk. And then making faces and stuff. And then I was pretending to be a singer because I was on top of a table. Like holding a plant, pretending to sing. Yeah, that was on camera. So no idea. I didn't even remember going in the swimming pool. I hate swimming pools.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear my worst blackout?
Yeah.
And the saddest part about this story is that this story is from last year, like just now, recently. So I went to my best friend's birthday party.
Yeah.
And one of my friends was visiting from South Africa, and he and I used to work together at the campus bar at UBC. So it was like massive college days. I was drinking a lot. I was a lot heavier than now I could drink. And so since I lost a bunch of weight since last year, like this year, well, basically all of last year, I was like finding out that I cannot drink anymore. Not like that anymore. And he comes in from South Africa and he's like, let's get wasted, like super Canadian approach to drinking. And I'm like, dude, I cannot do that anymore, but fuck it. And so we have a bottle of champagne around 4:00 in the afternoon because he brought it through duty free and whatever. And we take the train to go to where my best friend lives. And we show up at like 6 p.m. or something. And I'm already drunk. Like, nothing too bad, but drunk for 6 p.m.
Contained.
Prior to dinner.
Yeah.
Like, my friend was like, what the fuck happened to you? Anyway, so we go to dinner. We have more drinks. At dinner already, I start losing track of my memory. Like, at dinner.
Oh.
And I'm with my best friend and all of his friends. And, like, I know him and, like, a few of them from, like, high school days, but basically haven't really seen them since. And I literally lose memory from 10:30 till 3 a.m. Nothing.
Fuck.
Nothing. Like the next memory I have is 3 a.m. I'm with some guy and I'm looking for my jacket. And we're somewhere in the city and I don't have my handbag. I don't have my jacket. I don't have my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. We find my best friend who had my purse, like my whole purse, just around him.
With your phone?
With one of my phones, because, you know, nomad life, I have 2 phones.
Okay, yeah.
With one of my phones, but not my Swiss phone, which was in my jacket. So I'm like, fuck, I lost my jacket. At this point, I'm thinking it's okay because I don't remember that I don't remember. I'm like, it's 3 a.m. I have recollection of this, blah, blah. We get to the house, and I remember from 3 to 5 sitting in his living room, being drunk, talking shit, making out with the said guy that I was with when I was looking for my jacket. And then my best friend comes out and he's like, you need to come to bed now because you're being ridiculous. And I was like, that's probably a fair assessment. So we go and I like sleep in his bed, but nothing happens. Like no weird, nothing except for the fact that I was like, oh, give me some pajamas. And I got naked in front of him. Like I didn't wait for him to give me a shirt. I was just like, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm like, oh my God, that is like, oh my God, you saw me naked. And he's like, I didn't look. I'm like, haha, nice try, sure. But basically I wake up, I'm next to him, which I'm like, thank the fucking Lord. And then I realize that from dinner until 3 a.m, I remember throwing a beer pong ball. That's the only memory I have.
Jesus.
I broke the thing under the mirror in his living room, in his bathroom, because I was trying to make out with someone and someone was trying to break in the door. We broke the fucking glass thing that you put your toothbrush on. Like glass everywhere in the toilet. I lost my jacket for sure with my phone in it. Worse than that, well, like incidentally, I lost an earring, which happens. I lost my belt.
How do you lose a belt?
I don't know. Like, how do you lose a belt? I lost just the belt. Like, you can take off your pants without taking off your belt.
Yeah.
I just, like, what did I need my belt for? Like, I don't understand.
Maybe some kinky sex in a club or something.
I honestly...
Between dinner and 3 a.m.
So I asked the guy that I was with, which awkwardest conversation ever when you're not waking up next to someone. It's like actually calling them the next day in the afternoon being like, so what happened?
Yeah.
It's like the most mortifying fucking phone call of my life.
Do you think it's worse than the walk of shame, like on a Sunday morning?
So much worse. Walk of shame, you're like, oh, right, okay, fuck. This is like, hey, so you not knowing whether the guy was as drunk as you or whether he remembers or what. And I was just like, hey, so like I remember enthusiastically making out with you, so I have no concerns over whether I wanted to have sex with you or not. But did we? And he was like, yep, we did. And I was like,
where?
My life. He's like, oh, in the side streets.
Okay.
Of like somewhere. And I was like, do you like remember me having a belt or something? He was like, I don't think you had a belt. I was like, so that means I lost my belt before. Great. That's not comforting. Have a nice day. And so yeah, and that was, I'm like, I'm 27. Why? Like at that point I was 27. I'm like, why does this still happen to me? And this is like in my hometown after coming back and you were like gossip. So I'm basically still like trying to deal with the shame like 5 months later because everyone's like, hey, or like some guys I haven't seen since that night that you bump into in a party and you sort of forgot about it and they're like, how are you? Like sort of super tiptoeing around you like you're this like little thing. And I'm like, I fucked up, dude. It's fine. Like I own up to it. Don't make me feel shitty all over again. Like, yeah. Fuck you. Like, I'm sure
the worst about the hometown thing is before I left when I was 17, I was making out with all these boys in like the clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
And now, 10 years later, I'm like, oh, I know him. I think I used to like kiss him when I was like 16 and he was way older. He was like 22, 23. And now he's like married and kids and I'm just like, this is awkward because I have business meetings with these guys.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, we know each other. How do we know each other? And we're both kind of like, I think I've kissed you before. But thank God I was only 17 because if that was like when I was 22 or 23 and I actually had sex with them.
Yeah.
And then I was in front of them for business meeting. Yeah. It's just really awkward. Like yesterday I had a business meeting with my ex.
With my ex, fuck buddy.
Yeah, fuck buddy. Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah. And I'm just kind of like, oh, this is awkward because I was meeting this director of this big company and his assistant is
that guy.
And I was just like, this is awkward.
And it's like things you don't think about. Like for me, the hardest part was when I was traveling, you don't have family, you don't have high school friends. You don't really give a fuck.
No,
like you're just like, you're a guy, I'm a girl. Like right now seems like the right time. So let's do it. And then getting rid of those habits when you're back
is so hard.
It's so hard because you get into a point where you're like tipsy, you're like, I could use to get laid, like especially when you're single and like living the life that I lead where I'm like, I don't really care, I'm not looking for a relationship, I'm not looking for something steady, so like but
be careful because that's when it happens. On fucking New Year's Eve, all I wanted was a shag from this guy and who is now going to be my husband, so yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah, I really hope.
I was really not into relationship commitments. I'm still not really in commitments because we're really not getting married.
I mean, you're getting married, but no, like we're not. When?
No, but we're not. We're just having a huge party. We're not signing any papers.
Oh, you aren't?
I don't think so. I'm too scared of commitments.
But like it's a piece of paper. Does it really have that much meaning?
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
I don't know, like all my friends.
You were like, yes, I'll marry you, but like fake marry you.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have our best friends, like one or two of our best friends during the ceremony and do a huge party, like a big, 3-day wedding. Yeah. And go home and that's it.
I mean, why not?
I don't know. I just think this whole paper thing is bullshit.
I actually like...
And I'm such a feminist as well.
Yeah.
So, number one, I don't want to take his last name. Like, I don't want to take anyone's last name. I want to keep my own last name because...
It's yours?
It's mine, and I've been, like, that name for 30 years.
Yeah.
And why would I change identity overnight?
Yeah.
Like, people won't even know. Like, thank God my name is Kelly, and in Geneva, there's maybe 3 of us.
Yeah.
But, yeah. And then the other feminist side is like, why do I need to get married? Before, women got married because...
They had to.
They had to, and they needed financial security and stuff like that. Thing is, I am the financial security.
Yeah.
My future husband is 5 years younger than me and a student.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It makes sense. And I always said that too. I'm like, I want the dress in some very unfeministic way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want the dress, I want the attention, I want the party.
Yeah.
But, like,
I want
what
the
is
speeches. I want all of my friends to make me so embarrassed about old stories. That's what I think I look forward to.
But what is the paper worth anyway? Like, if
Nothing.
you're just gonna turn around and get divorced, which is like most of marriages, like,
I know.
what's the point?
I know. Waste time and money.
Well, I mean,
Which
like,
both I don't have in extra right now.
I mean, I guess, like, in some places it does have tax advantages or whatever. Like, it's like
It is
economically
here.
logical,
Yes, it is, but fuck it. At the end of the day, when you divorce, all
Yeah.
the money you saved, you throw it back up,
Yeah.
back out, and you double it.
It's so funny. I'm like, I feel like we're getting to that stage where it's like your two conversations that are super serious, where you're like, so, like, your retirement savings plan and your wedding plans versus like, so I can't remember if we put a condom on.
That's it. That really, yeah, is it.
It's terrifying, but I think, like, I don't know, but I wouldn't trade it for the fucking world. Like, all those mornings of, like, shame and questioning.
I
like,
miss it. How bad is that? I hope Morgan's never going to listen to this. But yeah, I honestly miss, like, going on adventures with girls. But I think I miss it. I think it was good during the days then.
Yeah.
But now I can see, like, some of my, I think it's because of the status.
It's totally social.
Yeah. Now some of them who are like 32, 33, 34, like their biological clock is ticking as well. And they're just like, fuck, I can't find one single nice...
Decent.
Yeah, nice, decent guy. So I'm just like fucking around and it's fun. But at the end of the day, I want a fucking baby.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, well, take the baby out of your head.
Yeah.
Try and manage your relationship and then you see.
And I think I'm not even close to the baby ticking spot yet. I mean, I am in age, but not in my head. And I'm still like, it's very difficult to justify, especially when you're in places like here where everyone sort of is focused on careers and having this sort of put together life from the outside, justifying that you're still going out and that you're still having fun. You end up just being surrounded with people much younger than you and sort of like being like, okay, I clearly feel that I don't care. Like, I enjoy, like, there's stuff that people younger than me know that I don't know. So it's still an opportunity to learn. I'm still having fun. Like, that doesn't make it any different. But I still, like, the people who are your age are like, what are you doing? Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Settle down. Calm down. And you're like, but why though? Why do I have to? I'm not, like, that's not, like, I'm not saying I'm the image of success, but, like, I've done what I said I was gonna do. Like, I'm on a path to something. Like, my life is going somewhere. I'm not sitting around here just getting drunk.
No, but that's the thing, like, that's another thing about the outsider life. You never actually fit in.
No.
And, like, all of my friends, they got engaged maybe 2 years after I did.
Yeah.
And they're all married now.
Yeah.
And they're just like, when are you getting married? I'm like, why do I have to get married now?
Yeah.
We've been engaged for 3 years. It's fine. We live together. We pay our bills together. Like,
yeah.
The day we're going to get married, it's not going to change anything.
And like you said, like, you set up your own business. Like, you're fighting tooth and nail every day to, like, get it off the ground. And, like, you're doing great. And he's a student who's, like, trying to figure himself out. It's like, yeah, let's get into debt so that you guys can have a party.
Yeah.
Before we're ready for our own party.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Exactly. And then, you always feel that you don't fit in with your friends and with the people you went to school with, especially.
Yeah.
Because,
Oh my God, I had my 10-year reunion on Saturday.
I've never had one.
Well, it's not like we had a class one. It was like the 30 years of my high school, and I graduated the year of the 20 years.
Okay.
So, like, the entire high school was there, all of the generations. So, like, 1,500 people are in this small-ass fucking town. And like I show up and my hair is pink, and like half of the people sort of follow me on social media and they're like, hey superstar, like how's the life, like touring your book, blah blah, and the other people are like, what the fuck do you do? And then there was this like divide between people who are like, she wrote about sex.
Yeah.
Just, or like people coming up to me like, your fiance's cousin, like, so I heard you wrote a book, with this like massive sort of little like smile of like, I know what it's about. And I'm like, that's super cute. I wish it was like a compliment, but I can tell that it's like, you've been gossiping.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's the same. They'll always find something to gossip. And I mean, as the outsider, my PR agency, we just signed a weed company.
Yeah, legal weed
6 months ago, and everyone's like, oh my god, you're promoting drugs. Guys, if I was the marketing manager of like Marlboro Lights or fucking
liquor
Bacardi,
company,
everyone would be like, oh my god, your job is so good, oh, and blah blah blah, and now you're just like, you're promoting drugs. I'm like, you are so fucking dumb.
Yeah. And it's a job in the end of the day. Like, I
scored
a major client.
And it's a pretty cool job. And it's a pretty cool client as well. And the challenges are there, and that's what makes me happy.
Yeah, but I think that's why you need to find people that, even if you're not like, I don't think we have our insiders club of the outsiders. Like, that's not how it works. Like, you're not like, yay, all the outsiders, we suddenly feel less like outsiders. We're like, no, we still feel very much like outsiders.
You're always an outsider.
But together.
Yeah. Or it's like all these people you see on social media that have friends, and they've been friends together, like this group of girls.
Oh, yeah.
And there's like 10 of them, and they've been friends since they were like 12. And they're still friends today, and
they're like got married together and had babies together, and you're like, who the fuck is coming to my wedding? Like, my guest list changes every 6 months, like my imaginary guest list in my head if I was to get married tomorrow. Like,
and you're just like, I've never had that. I've never had like, I have different group of friends that I hang
all
out
over
with
the world,
everywhere, but I don't have like this one tight ass group that I've had for, I don't know, over 15 years.
Yeah.
And so yeah, sometimes it makes you feel like an outsider in a kind of like, it could be cool to have like these friends.
Yeah, it really could. But then I'm like, maybe we will. Like,
but then they didn't see anything else.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't meet that many people because they only
stick together.
Yeah, they're like a clique, and they just don't talk to other people.
I think that's kind of like, like you said, I'm sure there's like benefits to having that life, and it makes like logistics of like who's going to be like your godfather of your kids very easy.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the richness of when you travel, like the amount of people that you meet, and plus you're in PR, and plus me, like the random social life that I have, like the
random social life.
Well, I have no excuse for like the quote unquote very PR like social circles that I have. It's just like, you're like, I get to meet so many different people. Like, even if they're in my life for like 20 minutes, like I still learned something.
Yeah.
If I chose to spend those 20 minutes with you, that meant that I was getting something out of that conversation that I didn't have anyone else in my life to tell me about it. So it's just, you're like, okay, it's cool. Like we're not judging anyone who has like a very put together life.
No.
But it's so funny how we try to understand them.
And they don't try to understand us. Yeah, that's for sure.
You're like, oh, well, I don't want to say that your life is boring because it probably isn't. Like, I don't want to judge you. And then they're like totally judging you. They're like, you. Like,
yeah, I think they're judging you. But then at the end of the day, like I had that on Saturday where I went to one of my friend's birthday from high school. And he's been, and yeah, all of these guys, I've known them for years, but it's not like we're friends. We just know each other from here. And everyone's like, oh, you're doing so well with your businesses and blah, blah, blah. But what do you actually do? So then I explain, and they're like, okay, I don't really get it, but whatever. Mm-hmm. But then I get other people to call me like during the week, like I did this week. And they're like, I think they do understand, they just don't understand your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like one day you're fucking grinding weed for a weed party, and the next day you're sitting in front of like the politicians of the country to try and hustle free spaces for events and stuff like that. Culture. So I think the outsider life is definitely a life that we love,
Yeah, we love to hate also sometimes.
But we love to hate, but we wouldn't change it.
No, it's true. And like now, and I don't know if it happens to you, but like when you wrap a big project or wrap a big thing, like for me, it's happening now. They're like, so you did your little pet project. Are you gonna like come back to real life and settle down and get a job? And I'm like, this is real life. This is real life still. I'm not paying bills right now, and I don't have taxes to pay because I don't make any money. It's not because I'm like choosing to live in a fairyland.
No.
Like if I wanted to live in a fairyland, I would try and marry rich, and I'd be bored within 6 months. And like, there are ways to lead a fairy life that isn't real, but that's not what I'm here for.
My mom was like that until probably last year when I was like, oh, I'm opening my company, and she's like, yeah, but you know it's really hard. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And she's like, no, but it's like really hard. You might want to find a job and do it on the side. I'm like, no, I'm gonna open my own company.
Yeah.
And so I did, and then the first 6 months she's like, so did you look for jobs? Like, what do you not understanding? I'm opening my own company.
Yeah.
And now I see her with friends and stuff, and she's like, so Kelly has her own company now.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I had the same thing with my mom. She was like, oh, she's kind of bumming around. And I'm like, I'm writing a book. She's like, yeah. So she's just, like figuring out her next steps.
She's
like,
blogging.
No, she doesn't even know what blogging is. She was just like, she's just traveling, blah, blah, blah. And then when the book came out, she's like, so my daughter is an author. Yeah. I'm like, oh, how convenient. I know. Before it was just like this gypsy, living in your apartment, like in Belgrade for no reason.
Yeah. So
it's like reconnecting with your roots. I'm like, no, Mom, I was sitting by myself, like writing a 300-page book that you're now very proud of and will never read, hopefully.
Yeah, I bet they'll never read it.
She wants to read it. She's like, I think I'll see the artistic value. And in my head, I'm like, nope, you won't. You will not see the artistic value. You'll see your daughter in a lot of compromising situations. But the advantage is that she doesn't speak English. So even if she wants to read it, it'll take her like 15 years. So
okay, that's
we're good. I was like delayed problems, future Christine problems.
And your dad?
He won't read it. He's like, I have not read a book in my life. I'm not going to start today. Which, I mean, fair enough.
Okay.
And
so does he think you're writing on like world peace or something?
No, they're all aware of what I'm writing about, especially because like I did the crowdfunding and like a lot of people around them bought the book, and like they know obviously that I'm like, so what are you doing? Oh, I'm interviewing people about sex or whatever. Like they understand, but they don't know the specifics of it. But because everyone's reaction is very healthy, because my writing is quite sort of holistic, it's not like here's sex gratuitously. It's like, this is why I'm telling you about sex. It seems to work. My brother, on the other hand, he's like, I'm super supportive. Like, he pitched into my crowdfunding. He came to my pre-launch. He bought a book. He's like, I will never open it, ever. I refuse to know this about you. And I'm like, that's totally fair, man. You're my brother. I don't need you to know. And then his girlfriend was like, oh, I can't wait to read it. And his face was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But no, they're supportive. But like you said, I don't think they'll ever really get it.
No.
They know I'm not meant to be in an office 24/7 working for someone else doing something boring. Like, they get that, but
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, once you're an outsider, like you don't want that that salary. Yeah, that salary at the end of the month. You're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna live on $300 for the month. That's fine. Yeah. And next month maybe more, and the following month maybe less, and. That's just the nomad.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
Like you learn that you figure it out. And once you've like done it, you're like, oh, I'm in a bind again. And you set your intention. And you're like, next month I really need some money. Like, I'm going to have some money next month because this month I didn't. And you just like work towards it and somehow it happens. But like I had the salary for 3 years and I was like depressed as fuck.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was a PR manager for a very big luxury group in Geneva. With a good salary and, the perfect office. It was in the city center and I could go out for lunch with all my friends. But at the end of the day, I was like, Jesus, this is not what I want. Yeah. So, I still don't actually know what I want. That's why I opened so many companies. And I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll see. Maybe that one I like better than the other one.
But I think you don't have to know. And that's the thing with the outsider. Like, you never know. Like, people are like, where do you want to live? Where do you want to be? And you're like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, it's going to change all the time.
And that's all I know. Change.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep it changing.
So for any of you outsiders out there, keep trucking. It's not easy, but it's so fucking worth it. Do you have any parting words for our listeners?
Everything works out, so fuck up.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Just life is short, so you never know. So spend your money.
Yeah.
Don't save anything because saving's stupid. Unless you want to travel and do something really fun and you want to quit your
So like
day
save with
job.
a purpose.
Yeah. And that's probably like to quit your day job, which I didn't. I didn't have any savings when I quit my job, like at all. I came back from a 2-month trip in Australia that probably cost me over 15 grand.
Yeah.
And yeah, so if you can save money just to quit your job and and hustle for whatever you want to do in your life, and everything works out.
It does. Just be genuine and work hard and it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening, guys. As always, get to us on Twitter at ChristineWild_. You can follow Kelly on Instagram.
On Instagram.
At
#popup.
Yeah.
Or Kilushka. Or Creative Nomad.
Perfect. I will tag all of these in the description of the episodes so you can stay in touch with all of our shenanigans.
Yeah.
Talk to you guys soon, and I hope you've enjoyed. So bye.
The podcast you just heard was recorded with Anchor. If you want to make your own, download the Android or iOS app completely free from anchor.fm/podcast. That's anchor.fm/podcast.